Hey, it's Wes.
And Chanda, and welcome to
DinkLife.
So we are currently sitting in LAX and we are waiting for our flight to Tokyo. If you've been with us since the beginning, you will know that this is the trip that started this whole thing in our basement.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much been 2 years
ago. Yeah. But we wanted to give you a couple of tricks. So we are flying Zipair, which is Japan's like budget airline. It's kind of like their Spirit or their Frontier or something like that. But I will say, having flown it the last time, it's exponentially better than those two airlines.
Yeah. Very organized too.
Yeah, and I think when we flew it last time, it was brand new.
Yeah, I think it was only like a year maybe old.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was that old.
Yeah.
But so we decided to go ahead and fly it again. Now, Zipair only flies out of LAX here in the States.
Yep.
So if you're going to Tokyo, you have to get to LAX. But honestly, like, being from Ohio, it's just as, don't want to say quick because nothing about this is quick.
No.
To fly to LA as it is to just fly the opposite way to Tokyo from Cleveland. So this actually saves us quite a bit of money coming out here and taking Zipair. So we just wanted to give you some tips if you are thinking about doing this. It's LAX Terminal B. The international terminal has A and B. The Zipair counter is in Terminal B. Now, the last time that we took Zipair, they weighed and measured everything we had. Carry-ons, personal items, everything. This time they didn't do any of that because there is a weight limit on the carry-ons. Like your small personal item has to be, I think, 7 kilograms, and then your carry-on has to be 15, which we're talking like 15 pounds and 33 pounds. For your carry-ons. They didn't do any of that this time. Now, that's not to say they won't do it to you or that they won't do it to us on the way back. It's hard to say.
Yeah, you just never know. Well, I think they could be a little more strict in Japan, too, about it, too.
That is also possible. Now, the other thing that we should mention about Zipair, it's pretty inexpensive, which is why it's their economy line.
Yeah.
But for the money,
and I do know the price is kind of rough. We're kind of flying off-season in Japan, so it was a little cheaper. And for the normal sit-up seats, those would be, it was around $1,000, and then the first-class seat was around $2,000.
It was?
Yeah.
That much?
Yeah.
For one way?
That's round trip.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? That seems very expensive.
No, that's round trip.
So I got a lie flat seat because I legitimately just get so uncomfortable when I'm flying. Like, my legs start to hurt. I'm talking after like even a 2 or 3 hour flight. And I know that seems like very high maintenance of me, but it's just the way that I am. I can't sleep on planes, so I have to try to be as comfortable as I can, or I will be miserable for the first few days. So yeah, the lie flat seats are like right around $1,000 for one way, which actually is such a great deal, I think, because we paid like $1,000 a piece to fly to Europe last year in regular economy class, like coach. So I got a lie flat seat. Now, the difference between these and first class on other airlines is it comes with no bells and whistles, right? So I've got my own little pod, right? I have a lie flat seat, but you only get one meal with it, and then anything else you get, alcohol, snacks, water even, you have to pay for.
Yeah.
So just know that. But
it
honestly,
was very reasonable.
Yeah, it's like super inexpensive, right? Like a bottle of water is $1.50.
Yeah.
And you can get a sandwich for like $5 or $6. I mean, it's not really.
They were more on Japan prices than American prices, so it was very reasonable.
Correct. And honestly, for the price of a first class seat on another airline where you do get all the bells and whistles, it's still, you're saving a ton of money just by buying that stuff separately.
Yeah.
Like, I think Wes got a beer for like $3 or something the last time. Now, this time around, Wes did decide to sit back in economy instead of buying himself a lie flat seat, which he did say was like $500. He was able to upgrade to a little bit better of a seat on the way there.
Yeah.
So,
and mostly just I kind of did it just to save a little money because we're going on so many flights this trip.
We are going on a lot of flights, but thankfully he was wise enough to buy me the lay flat seat this time, knowing that he has to deal with me for the next few days. But we just wanted to talk about how they are, and they're so polite and so kind and so friendly. Like, honest to God, we had no issues with this company the last time we flew them, so that's why we decided to do the same thing again, because again, it is not like Spirit or Frontier. It is like a top tier economy airline. So once we get on the plane,
and I did want to say about the ordering food and stuff, just so you know, like last time last time there was like an app and you kind of just went through a web page on your phone and that's how you ordered it, and then the lady just dropped it off.
Like they know what seat you're in. Like you order it on the website, and then they come to your seat and they're like, Miss Porter, yeah,
Yep.
that's me, and then they give your food to you. So once you get on the plane, I think you have to get on the website, like put a credit card in or something,
Yeah.
and then you just order everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's
I actually kind of like it better than the airlines here because
I do too.
because you can request it. The ones here, you're kind of waiting for the person to go by and flag them down and stuff like that.
yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you mentioned that. That was the one super nice thing. So it's like you don't have to wait for the drink cart to come through,
Yep.
the snack cart to come through. You just order it on your iPad or your phone, and then it's like it comes to it's at your seat at like in less than
Yeah.
5 minutes. It's really quick.
And we do get a free meal with it too.
One,
Yeah,
of
one
course,
free
because
meal.
the flight is so long. I mean,
Yep.
everybody gets a free meal. But my point with the lie flat seat is there are no extra
Yeah.
like bells and whistles. And also, I mean, it's like a 12-hour flight. So if you get hungry again, I suggest you either bring your own snacks or be ready to order something from them because that's all you're going to get.
Yeah, and I would suggest if you do want food, I remember last time some of the food actually sold out towards the end of the flight. So if you need it, look
Get
at
it
the
early.
beginning and get it early. 'Cause
Yeah.
it does sell out.
That's kind of why I suggest maybe bringing your own snacks because it's really just, it's a crapshoot. You know, you
Yeah.
don't know what they're going to run out of. You don't know what they're going to have. And again, it's a long flight. So unless you're planning on sleeping the whole time or you don't get hungry,
Yep.
it's really the best way to do it. So I think once we get on the plane, Wes will take some video on there just so you can see kind of like, you know, the size of the seats and what you're getting yourself into and things like that. The lie flat seats are lie flat seats. I mean,
Yep.
they're pretty much like they are on every airline. So no surprises there. But yeah, I mean, so far, this is our second time using them and we haven't had any issues yet. So we'll see if that was a fluke or if it will be the same this time around.
And they do have a duty-free shop here on the international side. And plenty of shopping in here. They do have a very small food court in here, so you can get a bite to eat before you get on your plane. Now we're heading to gate 135. Heading to gate 135. And we are flying out of gate 135, which does have a little shop right over here to the right. And there's our plane sitting ready to go.
All right, everybody. So we are on the flight and we are up there and ready to rock and roll. As you can see, Wes also got upgraded. So if you
I
want to
did
talk about
upgrade.
how that happened.
Yeah, so right after the flight, after takeoff, they will allow you to upgrade. But I would say you want to be first in line. So I did wait like 20 minutes at the gate to be first in line. And then once you get on, they will tell you the fee. It's different for every location, but how much it costed when I was going from LAX to Japan, it was about $450 for the upgrade. So it's not cheap, but it is quite an upgrade to go to first class.
And did you talk about how you had to wait?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Wes is probably going to be the one to show you how all the features of this work. Now, one thing I will say, which we forgot to mention earlier, is what you don't get with these lie flat seats is any kind of screen or any movies or anything. You have to do all of that on your iPad or your phone, but you link up to Zipair. And if you want to use their movies or whatever, you can do that on there. And that's, like we said earlier, also how you order food.
So now here inside the seat, we got a plug back here, USB plug. You can also, there's a light and you can call for service. It has a little storage pouch up here. Got some nets over there. There's another net down here. There's a spot you can put your feet, which is nice. These are kind of how you do the controls for the beds. So like if I want it to go flat, I hold down this one and you can see I'm starting to move in. And eventually you'll go completely flat. I'm going to go back up now here. And then they do have a do not disturb button that you can click, and then you can, here's like the, let's see, yeah, see that adjust the lighting underneath there, and in your little cubby hole back here. So it's a nice little thing. I think there's another seat, oh, here's another button right here to go upright. And they do also have a tray table, does pull out in front of you here, so you can see. There you go. You got a nice little spot where you can put your laptop. This doesn't work on editing some videos here. And then that's pretty much the little seat right here. So now to get service on the plane here, you kind of scan one of these QR codes depending on which language you speak. So let's try to scan here if we can. There we go. That should bring up the Zipair app. Oh, it's not going too quick. There we go. Yeah, and then you can buy, they have goods, you can upgrade, they have seats. Everything looks paused at the moment, but we can go in here. Here's some of the food options they have. You can see the prices. Very reasonable. Coke's $3 or 3 yen. 300 yen, sorry. Oh, check out page 2. Here's some of the other stuff over here. We got some beers. Then we can look at the goods one. Got masks, neck brace, get some slippers, get a Zipair flight tag. Kind of got some souvenir stuff in here. We got quite a few of these blankets now. They give you one on every flight if you're upgraded. That's kind of the little on store. And then once you do, eventually I'll show you how when I'll place an order, then you can see how to check out. Here's a little shot inside the plane. So we're not too far into the flight, maybe about 40 minutes, and they did bring us our food. Me and Chanda both did get cheese ravioli with spinach cream sauce. And they do give you a little water here with it. There is a shot of the ravioli. So here we go. It's cheesy. So here we go. A little shot of the clip. Let's go. Not bad. Tasty for spring. Not too tomato. Very cheesy. Not super overpowering. Great flavor. Wow. So we're gonna try to place an order here. Shonda wants a water. So we add that. And then you can see there's only 3 Coke Zeros left on the whole plane. So I'm gonna add one of those. And we're gonna go to checkout. See the total. Now I will log in. And I got my Coke. They're pretty quick too. This is a Japanese Coke Zero right here. Here's another shot. It's kind of nighttime. Everybody to sleep. And now it's time to get a little nap.